I was like, who the hell is gonna want to know about me? Hi, hey, hello. Face cam, or face reveal, I should say. But I'm Shadow Rose. You can call me Daria as well. I am a psychic intuitive here on YouTube, and I've been on Twitch, and I've had Discord things, and I do local stuff here in my area as well. I don't usually do this. I'm not used to talking to. Okay, my tummy is rumbling because I have not eaten. But I'm not used to doing this sort of video. I usually do like pick a cards and stuff, even though I just kind of have only had a few videos out. But I felt really called to do a face video. I am outside because it's a gorgeous day, so I thought might as well just go ahead and do it outside. I had originally planned to do a pick a card video. That's why this is here. And I a lot of stuff went wrong. Not like in necessarily a bad way. I was just willing to roll with it. And then I realized that I was feeling really called to do the video that I have been dreading. And I've really wanted to do this, but I've been scared, and I was like, okay, I'll do it on a day where like the stars have aligned and I look not like a drowned rat. Then it just kind of happened. So I have no makeup on, which I don't usually wear makeup, but I like to do it for videos. I like to do my hair for videos or for streams if I do stream. But here I am in all of my after work glory for you. And I'm here. I showed up. I am going to do this video, and we're going to learn a little bit about me. My story, where I came from, where I'm at now. I was like, who the hell is going to want to know about me, right? I just started my YouTube, but I've been doing Twitch for a little while. I took a break, and now I'm just kind of trying to get into the swing of things again. I have no script for this either. I was going to write up a script. I was going to do all of that. I might / will ramble. But I don't know. I work with the Morrigan. She is my patron goddess, and she's been really pushing me to do this video. I have no idea why. But I've been feeling really pushed. I even literally even saw 3 crows today while I was working, and it's like a really summery day. So I usually don't see crows when it's really summery in my area. And I also saw 3 of them, which is the Morrigan's number. So, I was thinking about doing this while I saw them. So anyway, but yeah, so we are going to learn about me. I might get into some kind of in-depth stuff, just a little trigger warning. There may be some talk of trauma. There may be some talk of emotional abuse, just so you are aware. Let's get started. I'm going to tell you who I am first and just kind of a gist of me. My name is Daria. I go by Shadow Rose online, and I have for many, many years. And I consider myself a psychic intuitive. I consider myself a pagan. I am a pagan practitioner and a witch. I follow the Morrigan. She is my patron goddess. I've also worked with many other goddesses in the past, or gods and goddesses in the past. And I have been a witch and doing this for about 10 years now. And there's a plane or something. Yep, it's a plane. I am outside, so you might hear some of the stuff. I have my mic, so hopefully you don't. But if you do, Oh well, nature is great.
A few moments later.
Oh my god, it's a bee. Scared of the outside, I'm not gonna lie. I am literally like, I love nature, it's great. And then the second it looks me in the face, I'm like, no thank you, I don't like dirt. Yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years. I have dabbled in a lot of different things in my practice, but I have heavily focused in on divinity and gods and goddesses, and connecting with them and helping other people connect with them, as well as astral practices and past lives. So those are kind of like my vibes. But of course I kind of dabble in kind of everything. I do consider myself a divination witch. I finally leaned into that that title, as well as an oracle. Now that is a big title for that comes with a lot of I don't know, I don't want to say strings, but like a lot of ideas with it. But I'm just putting it out there. I do channel gods and goddesses. I've channeled the Morrigan. I have channeled Aphrodite. I have done quite a few other gods and goddesses and spirit and source, whatever you want to call it. And I do like hear them. So that is something that I consider myself having a gift in, if that's something that you want to call it. And I've been honing that practice. I love doing it. I love helping other people. I also encourage other people to go to other readers as well, like vet what I say. I also consider myself an astrologer as well. I'm still learning though, but also you can kind of never stop learning astrology. So my big three, if you would like to know that, is I am a Virgo sun, Libra moon, and Scorpio rising. So that's me with a Virgo stellium too, technically. So anyway, yeah, that's a little bit about me, what I do. And I don't necessarily I really don't want to toot my own horn with this, but also I want to let people know what I do and my experiences. So that's a little bit of what I do in my experiences. I have run into quite a few things in my practice and my life that I cannot explain. And I like some experiences that I may share at some point, of spiritual experiences, as well as experiences with different witches and practitioners, that have been a little crazy, not gonna lie, in the past. I also wanted to kind of go into my background, how I came to be where I am today. So I grew up Christian, and not only Christian, I grew up non-denominational Christian, I should say, but I also was a pastor's daughter. My dad was in the ministry my entire life, up until he did pass away this past January, and he was in the ministry for almost 40 years. And so I grew up with that. I learned from that. I had trauma with that as well. There's a lot of trauma with it, but my father was a great man, and he tried his best. And I truly believe that he thought he was doing the best he could for me. And yes, there were issues growing up. Looking back, he was a wonderful father, and he tried his best every step of the way. And I can not be more thankful, because I'm super thankful. And everything I learned from him, and also being in the church, I'm thankful for. But that also comes with a lot of trauma, and that also comes with a lot of issues that I am still working through today. Your girl is a religious trauma witch. I was a Christian up until I was 17 or 18 years old. I believed in God. I heard him just like I hear other deities. I didn't Oh, there's a puppy. And I connected with him in a way that at the time was Christian. But I also did think that it was interesting that I could hear him so clearly. I had a lot of connections with God that I felt were valid at the time. And I do to this day. I think I was feeling God, the Abrahamic God, I was connecting with him. I was in some ways he was working through me, but I also wonder how many experiences were actual experiences or chalked up to Christianity as a cult and I was in it. And that's something I do truly believe. There are some wonderful Christians out there. I really do believe that my dad was one of them. He treated everyone with kindness, and he taught me how to treat everybody with kindness. And I think quite a few of my family members also would fall under that category as well. I'm going to be honest, not all of them, but I think my dad did a really good job of teaching us how to be Christian in the way that it's written in the Bible, and truly, and not just the Bible, but just like by what they are supposed to stand for. Once I was like 17, 18, I started to like question things. And with that, I just started to slowly, I say break away from the church. I didn't break away from the church. I literally like stayed in it, even though personally and my beliefs were not there anymore. Sorry, my sitting on the ground is hard. I started to question my beliefs. And it was interesting because I never really questioned God, though. It was very interesting because I was like, I still believe that God exists. I just don't know if this is where I want to be. Like this doesn't make any sense to me. Like I don't feel a connection. I don't feel a need to do all the things that people are telling me to do. I ended up going to college and for one semester and then came back. I went to arts college. I majored in photography, but only for a semester. I went there and then I started to, and not even in Chicago, but like in Chicago, my world was just blown. I met so many wonderful people that the church had been telling me for years not to associate myself with. I never listened to them, even as a kid. Like I was like, why? Like, aren't we supposed to be nice to everybody? And again, chalking that up to my dad. Thank you. Like some of my best friends growing up were queer. I went to college though. I met some wonderful people while I was there. Then I came back home and I met some people that showed me witchcraft and tarot. And suddenly it's like everything clicked. And I know that's so dramatic. Like, oh, I found my purpose. But like to some degree I feel like I did. I found something that I felt connected to in a different way. That I felt like I was supposed to be there. And one of my cats is looking at me through the I am sitting in front of my patio door and my cat is just staring at me. He's like, "Why are you outside? Let me out too. I do not trust you, Milo. You are not coming out here. I love you though." um I have to always move my legs or else they're going to fall asleep. So yeah, I started to get into tarot. It just clicked. And I started learning very fast. Tarot was the thing that I picked up, and I just was like, "Oh my god, this makes sense." I went for it. I was still going to church at this time, by the way, keep in mind. And I considered myself a Christo-pagan, which is a Christian and a pagan. I started to connect with different gods as well. I started to open up to them. I started with something that felt comfortable and I reached out to Athena and I started to work with her. And she's wonderful. I loved working with her. It was temporary though, definitely. And she was the stepping stone into working with the Morrigan. Oh my god, another bee! Please go away. Okay. Over my many years of working in this practice, in this realm, I have had close relationships with Athena, Bast. I accidentally, oh, that's another story. I accidentally called Bast. Well, I didn't mean to. I bought a little figurine of Bast and I put incense in front of it. And I, for some reason, was like, a god isn't gonna come. And I literally felt her presence in the room. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, I didn't mean to call you. I'm sorry. I just wanted to honor you. And she's like, well, you did. And I was like, okay. I also, looking back, I think there was also a little bit of Sekhmet kind of wrapped in that energy as well. I'm going to be honest, maybe it was just Sekhmet. I ended up kind of working with her on a very lighter note. And mostly just for protection for my cats and to honor her. But I worked very closely with Athena. I'm going to be honest, some of that is like real hazy, but it was mostly Athena for a good long while. And I would like sometimes petition other gods for certain things, but honestly, it was mostly just Athena at the time. Like I said, I'm not on any script, so I'm trying to like keep track of all of my like steps. So I actually was gonna go all the way back to my childhood and explain to you guys all of my trauma. And I might talk about that a little bit, but maybe that might be for another day. Yeah, I started doing my thing. I started learning very quickly because I also saw learning and understanding witchcraft as a devotional practice to Athena. It wasn't necessarily the witchcraft aspect of it, it was more of the learning, the knowledge, the wisdom, like gaining this knowledge I saw as a devotional practice to Athena. And I truly feel like that really connected me with her in a very like deep way at the time, and I really did like that, but it did kind of like speed up processes. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this. If you are new to witchcraft, please take the necessary steps to protect yourself and learn about things before you jump into anything. Now, I'm going to go into something that I do not think that anyone new to this practice should just jump into. Unfortunately, I did. I found out really quickly that I could just astral project like that. Every time I tried to meditate, I would just go whoop, right into another plane. At the time, I'm going to be honest, at the time, I thought it was really fun. But it did kind of put me in situations that probably weren't unsafe. And I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend getting your protections up in order before you do any of that sort of thing, even if you feel like it's a gift, like something that you're just naturally good at. But yeah, I started to do that. I started to work with a very skilled practitioner. He was very skilled in energy work and astral projection, and he taught me a lot about mostly astral projection and the astral and kind of that like dream, like not dream like, but like you project while you dream type of thing. I learned a lot about that stuff, mostly from him, and a lot about just witchcraft in general. I'm very thankful for his presence in my life, but also at the same time, I'm sorry he was kind of acting like an asshole for a little bit. And I'm not friends with him anymore. And I also feel like there may have been some energy manipulation on me and another person that I knew at the time too. So that was great. But yeah, so I learned about that, and then I started working with Athena very closely. I ended up finding a apprenticeship program here in my town, and to this day she is still my mentor. I don't work with her currently, but I do consider her my mentor. She mentored me, she taught me a lot, mostly like how to become kind of like a professional reader. And she even said, she was like, yeah, you know a lot about tarot, you can read cards really well, I just want to teach you how to do it professionally and in a professional manner. So I learned how to do that. She also taught me how to do past life regressions as well. I learned a lot of past life stuff from her. So that was really fun. That was a really wonderful time. I met some wonderful people. I learned a lot. I learned about a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my practice and my just connections. And I may go into those at some point, but a lot of that is very personal that I don't necessarily want to get up like into on YouTube. But I learned a lot during that time. And it was nice because I was learning from practitioners that were like a lot older than me. So I was learning a lot of these like older practices that were traditional and very interesting. So I learned a lot about like the Fae at that time and dragons and a little bit like out there stuff. But also I learned a lot about just like how to do this professionally and how to be respectful and do it in a way that is respectful to a lot of different cultures. And of course, we're always learning with that, especially with me being just straight up. I am white, if you haven't noticed. And so I really try to be as careful as I can with different cultures and diving into those things and not appropriating any cultures because it's very important. And so while I was during, like, in this time, I started seeing a lot of like these signs that like didn't make sense. And later I found out that it was the Morrigan. The Morrigan was reaching out to me very strongly, very hard, very fast. And I was like, what the heck? And I talked to Athena about it, and she was like, yeah, you're supposed to be with her, not me. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, so all of this time. And she's like, our time has passed. And she actually left. I did not want her to go at all at the time, but I'm glad it happened because I really truly feel like the Morrigan has changed my life for the better and made me become such a better person and a better practitioner. And I have been working with the Morrigan since about like, I would say like 2017, 2018. So it's been quite a few years. And she is my patron goddess. She is the goddess I mainly work with now. I also work with Aphrodite as well. I'm starting to wonder though if my time with Aphrodite is starting to kind of wane a little bit. I'm not entirely sure yet. But yeah, and also I've worked with Loki at one point too. Ganesh also came to me as well. That one I kind of was really worried about because I don't know much about the Hindu practice, but I did confirm it, and he just was like, "Yeah, I'm here to help you move this obstacle in your life." And I'm like, "Okay." It was very short, very quick. He just came in, was like, "Here you go, goodbye." And I was like, "Okay." Um, but I'm really getting ahead of myself. But yeah, I started working with the Morrigan though. She changed my life. She changed my practice for the better. I found out too, like later, that a spirit guide that I had found, really early on in my practice was actually her. And it was actually, she had been there from the beginning. And Athena was actually there to just help transition from Christianity into paganism and some of these like deeper, darker themes as well. For those of you who don't know the Morrigan, she is a wonderful, wonderful deity. She is an Irish Celtic goddess of war, death, battle, prophecy, magic, sovereignty mainly. She is wonderful, and I would not be the person I am today without her. And I am so thankful and so happy. And you'll probably see a lot of readings from her on this channel. But yeah, I don't know where I was kind of going with that. I just kind of wanted to go over the Morrigan, that I work with her. I love her, and I could talk all day about her. But it was very interesting because she does have a lot of, she has this stigma about her that because she is a dark goddess of death and battle, and a lot of people are like, don't work with her, she's gonna ruin your life. And like, honestly, she did kind of ruin my life for the better though. She tore everything, she literally tower card, she tore everything down in order to build a bigger, better tower. She takes things away in your life that you don't need and that you need to just like let go and leave behind, right? And she is not for the faint of heart though. She is a goddess who will be straight with you, who will be strong, who will be very in a way kind of demanding, but also she's very understanding at the same time. She has a lot of facets to her that are just, she's just like, oh, she's wonderful. She's also a shapeshifter too, so she has a lot of different ideas like within her whole vibe. I might do like a more in-depth video on the Morrigan at some point, but so I started working with the Morrigan. I started to also give readings professionally, both in the store that I was working at the time, as well as online. And then I was doing it very, very lightly, and then COVID hit. And I was working full time, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I was like, dude, I want to make this my job. I want to make tarot. I want to help people, not make tarot, but like, well, maybe one day. Um, but I want to make tarot my job. I want to help people. I want to help people learn about their own spirituality and help guide them in these new paths that they can go down, and help connect with all of these, just like if a deity is reaching out to you, like I want to help. Like, and because so many people are so like confused about those things too. And I just want to help people essentially. And I've felt since the moment I've picked up a tarot deck, I have felt like I've wanted to do this as a career, as my lifetime's work. I don't want to just do it on the side with my main job. Like, if I can do this as my full-time job, excuse me, I have something in my eyeball. If I can do this as my full-time job, I want to do it. And so COVID hit, and I found the perfect time. At the time, I was living with an ex-boyfriend of mine. We were, apparently, there's a little spider. We were very like solid at the time. Well, not in the relationship, but financially, yes, we were great because he made a lot of money. Not like a crazy amount. Oh my god, a bug. Yeah. Okay, we're good. um, he didn't make like a crazy amount, but enough to, well, enough to have a 3-bedroom house. Um, yep. So I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna quit. I think I'm gonna do tarot full time because my online stuff started picking up. And he was like, sure, go ahead. And so I did. And it was wonderful. I mean, it was COVID too, though, so I was like never leaving my house. But and then I was like, oh, I should start streaming like on Twitch, like doing tarot on Twitch. And then out of nowhere, I don't know if he was like jealous or what. I have no idea. He just My ex broke up with me. Just out of nowhere. I had to find a place to live on my own on this very shaky financial thing I was doing with tarot. And somehow, some way, I found an apartment. Like literally, thank the gods. Um, and I kept going. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and so I started my Twitch channel. I started doing a lot of live readings, and I absolutely loved it. But I got burned out really quickly. I did not have a foundation in it. I didn't have a plan really. I was just jumping in hard and fast, and I fell hard and fast, and I was so burnt out. I stopped streaming. I had to get like a 9 to 5 job again, and I kind of jumped along a couple jobs before one finally stuck. I took a 3-year long break from spirituality, and to me, that was devastating because like I thought I would never do that. I thought that I would be doing this my whole life and keep going, and yeah. But lately I have met some wonderful people. Well, I have wonderful people in my life. My wonderful boyfriend, who is sitting right over there, and I hope he can't hear me. Well, no, just kidding. I hope he can hear me. I love him so much. He is the love of my life, and he supports me in everything that I do, and specifically tarot. And I've been slowly kind of getting back into the swing of things. I don't know which direction I'm going, but I thought might as well do YouTube because I can kind of do that with my job now. But ideally, I would like to not have a 9 to 5 job at all. And so I'm working towards that. I'm trying to do more pick a cards, but it's hard to do anything like another job outside of my job now, because I'm going to be honest, I am neurodivergent. I don't have a lot of spoons sometimes, and so it's really hard for me to get up and do things. But we're working on it. We're working on that. We are working on building up our endurance, and to some degree, you kind of just have to like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I fucking hate that saying so much, but essentially that's kind of the vibe. That's the vibe. I kind of need to just do it. I need to just do it. I need to just jump in, and that is why I'm here in this video looking like a gremlin, telling you my story. Telling you that I don't even know, just telling you about myself. To me, like, that story isn't very interesting. I haven't even gone into a lot of the deeper stuff that maybe one day I'll get into, or maybe I'll get into it in the next 10 minutes. I don't really know. My goal, I guess, with this YouTube is to reach out to people and help people. And yes, my goal is also to make this a full-time job. If YouTube, I don't necessarily want it to be YouTube. I just want to be able to help people and do readings for them, and to be able to support myself with that. Maybe not necessarily just readings, but like, I want to reach out to people. I want to help them. I want to help them learn about this world. And I am sick. I'm sick of telling myself I can't do it anymore. Like, that's a big reason why it took me so long to get back into spirituality, because for a long time, for that year when I was doing it full time, it was a job to me. It wasn't spirituality. And I think that's one of the things I lacked, is having a foundation in personal sovereignty with it. I did not have that. And I don't necessarily think I have that quite yet, but I'm working on it. And I'm working with the Morrigan on it. And I'm working with a lot of wonderful friends of mine who are helping me, and who are helping me like lift myself up and take those steps and move forward. And I'm very excited for the future. And honestly, I don't have any excuses anymore. I can't say that, oh, well, I don't want my family to know that I'm a witch. Well, now they know. As of November of 2024, they know. It took almost 10 years for me to tell them. And my brother was like, Daria, I've known for 6 years. I was waiting for you to tell me, but I didn't want to make you defensive, so I didn't want to bring it up. And I was like, wow, that's really healthy and great of you. And I was so scared. I was so terrified of letting my family down. And for what? Like, the only thing that I was, like, the only person that I was hurting in that scenario was myself. So what if they don't agree with me? So what if they think I'm going to hell or whatever? Honestly, I got very, 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 very lucky, and my family still loves me, and they said, yes, we disagree with you, Daria, but we love you, and that's all that matters. And I got insanely lucky with that, and I understand how privileged I am to have that sort of relationship with my family. But one thing I told myself is I didn't tell my dad before he passed away, and that was a choice that I wanted to make. I don't know if that was my choice to make, but it's a choice that I made, and it's done. So the two biggest things that were holding me back from being all out witchy, let's go, was my family knowing, and just, I guess, my dad, because I didn't want to hurt him. But here we are. My family knows. My dad ultimately knows now. I've connected with him a couple times since his passing, but he supports me in every step of the way, and I'm so thankful for that. There's a lot of things that I still have to work through. There's a lot of things that I still have to personally work through, and a lot of things I still have to learn, both for myself as well as doing this as a job, or doing this as YouTube. I don't know. I'm rambling. This whole video is just me rambling the entire time. I wanted to make this video to explain who I am, what I do, and you will probably be seeing a lot more of me soon. And yeah. So to end off, I think I'm going to we're going to pull a card from the tarot, from the Call of the Morrigan Oracle deck. I was going to do it actually in the beginning, but I've decided to do it at the end. The mic might be a little quieter now. There it is. Alrighty. I think I'm just going to go ahead and hold this. So, interesting. Okay. So we have, let's see, I don't even know if this will work, but we have battle. It's number 30. And I don't think, actually, yeah, I am going to read the book for this. But the vibe I'm kind of getting from this, and this is, oh my gosh, this is so cliche. Life is a battle. but no, I mean, there are things to push through no matter what. I actually think, truly, I think this is actually more of the message, but get yourself back up, right? In the middle of a battle, you cannot just lay there. If you lay there, you will die. And I think that's what the Morrigan is kind of talking about, with kind of like me talking about my life, I guess. And I didn't really go into a lot of like trauma stuff that I thought I was gonna get into. It's more of just like, hey, Heidi ho, this is me. But maybe I'll make another video on that. And because I didn't even mention my mother. But maybe I will at one point. But this card is about conflict and struggle. And even though this seemingly, based off of what I've told you, doesn't really connect with what I was talking about, I gave you the cliff notes. I gave you the pretties of my life. But obviously it is not all pretties. I am very privileged, though. I'm not going to lie. There are some things in my life that have come easy, but also in turn, other things have been some of the hardest things in my life. And hard things that other people might consider stuff that they couldn't handle. I don't consider myself resilient in any way. I feel like I've had like, oh, things were fine, things were great. Like, but in reality, and that's something I'm kind of unpacking right now, is that's what the card is about. The Morrigan wants me to talk about my conflicts, my struggles.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
That's literally just the keywords are conflict and struggle, and I'm going to close the book and put it back. Because she... So... I think what she wants me to do is she literally wants me to put down my mask. She wants me to... Where do we start? Do we start with the fact that my parents got divorced when I was 5? Do we just go immediately into trauma? You know? Do we go immediately into the fact that my mother is most likely a narcissist, and the fact that I missed so much time with my dad because of the divorce, and I spent so much time with her when I could have been spending time with a wonderful, wonderful father? Do I go into the fact that my mother's boyfriend had OCD, and I'm not putting down OCD at all, But what I'm putting down is the way my mother handled it with me, to the point where I have so much people pleasing, like, that I have so much anxiety, you know? Like there's so many shadows of my past and so many shadows of my life that I'm still trying to unpack it. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Morrigan is here for me. I think it's past life stuff too, but she really wants me to share my struggles. She really wants me to share the fact that she wants me to put down my Virgo, like, I'm a perfection person, like, and I don't necessarily see myself as a perfection, like, or like as perfection, because I'm not. But I think she wants me to stop being perfectionist about myself and stop judging myself. I don't even know, like, how to explain this without sounding like it's a pity party. Like, how do I don't know. I just don't even know how to explain it and how to share it. So I might have to just be done for now, but I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on the vibes of being more open. But you also don't have to be open with everybody on the internet. And I'm just saying that now. But I also feel like I do have a story to tell, and the Morrigan wants me to tell my story. But you also needed to hear the basis of everything first. You needed to hear the fluff before the nitty gritty. And so I'll probably do this again sometime. And I'll think about what she kind of shared with me of, like, being more open and sharing my struggles and sharing my, like, quote battles. But for now, I'm gonna head off. Hopefully a pick a card will be coming soon. I'm not exactly sure when, I'm gonna be honest. I've been having a hard time thinking of topics, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like that's the Morrigan explaining to me. Okay. No, I literally just, like, I heard in my head, like, you have your topic. And I was like, what the heck? I have my topic. So the next pick a card is going to be working around something with, like, struggles or conflict. I will figure out the exact idea with that. But I'm very hungry, so I'm going to go eat. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this far in. I appreciate you. For listening to my stories. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful day. And as always, eat some yummy food, drink some yummy water. I don't know if, wait, what do I usually say? Eat some yummy food, drink some water, and take care of yourself, because it's very, very, very important. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful night or day or wherever you are, and I will catch you later. Bye. That was a doozy.